Top 20 Calligrapher Interview Questions and Answers. Explore the top 20 calligrapher interview questions and answers designed to showcase your expertise, artistic techniques, and client approach. Perfect for preparing confidently for any professional calligraphy interview. 1. What inspired you to pursue calligraphy, and how did you learn it? I was inspired to pursue calligraphy through my fascination with beautifully handwritten letters and historical manuscripts. The elegance and artistry of scripts like copperplate and Gothic sparked my curiosity. I began with online tutorials and calligraphy books, slowly building my foundational skills. I then enrolled in structured courses and attended local workshops to improve my technique. Learning from skilled artists and practicing daily helped me refine my hand and develop consistency. Over time, calligraphy became more than a hobby. It became a meditative, expressive art form that I deeply connect with. Each stroke felt intentional and meaningful, which made the learning process both enjoyable and transformative. 2. What calligraphy styles are you most proficient in, e.g., copperplate, Gothic, modern, brush, etc.? I'm proficient in several calligraphy styles, with my strongest being copperplate, Gothic, and modern script. Copperplate offers elegance and precision, while Gothic brings a bold, medieval aesthetic that I enjoy for formal pieces. I also love modern calligraphy for its creative freedom and fluid strokes, which appeal to contemporary audiences. Brush calligraphy is another area I've explored, especially in digital formats and casual designs. I often switch styles depending on the project's tone and client preferences. My versatility in these styles allows me to handle a range of assignments, from formal wedding invitations to branding projects with a more relaxed, artistic vibe. 3. How do you ensure consistency in letter forms and spacing in your work? Consistency in letter forms and spacing is crucial to producing clean, professional calligraphy. I begin by lightly sketching guidelines for baseline, X-height, ascenders, and descenders using a pencil and ruler or a light box. These guides help maintain uniform letter size and alignment. I pay close attention to slant lines, spacing between characters, and stroke widths, especially in scripts like copperplate. Regular drills and warm-ups before starting a project help maintain muscle memory and flow. When working digitally, I use software tools like Procreate or Adobe Illustrator with grid overlays. Most importantly, I maintain a steady hand and pace, which ensures each letter complements the rest. For what tools, nibs, inks, papers, brushes, or digital tools do you prefer and why? My preferred tools depend on the style I'm working with. 4. Pointed pen scripts like copperplate. I favor Nico G and Hunt 101 nibs for their flexibility and precision. I use Sumi ink or Iron Gall ink for their smooth flow and rich color. For Gothic and other broad edge styles, I rely on Pilot parallel pens or traditional dip pens with Mitchell nibs. I choose smooth, high-quality paper like Rhodia or Bristol to avoid ink bleeding and feathering. Digitally, I use Procreate with Apple Pencil for its intuitive pressure sensitivity and control. Each tool is chosen to match the desired effect, texture, and readability of the project. 5. Can you explain the differences between pointed pen and broad edge calligraphy? Pointed pen and broad edge calligraphy differ primarily in nib shape and writing technique. Pointed pen calligraphy uses flexible nibs with a sharp point that create thin and thick lines based on pressure. It's ideal for scripts like copperplate and Spencerian. Broad edge calligraphy, on the other hand, uses a flat nib that creates thick and thin strokes based on the nib angle and direction of the pen. This style is used for Gothic, italic, and uncial scripts. Pointed pen calligraphy emphasizes fluid, graceful curves, while broad edge styles are more structured and angular. Each technique offers a unique aesthetic, and mastering both enhances versatility and skill in calligraphy. 6. How do you handle mistakes or ink blots in traditional calligraphy? Handling mistakes in traditional calligraphy requires patience and a few techniques. If I make a minor mistake, I use a sharp craft knife or sand eraser to carefully scrape away the error on heavy paper. For ink blots or larger mistakes, I may cut and paste a patch of matching paper, blending it seamlessly with the original. Alternatively, I restart the piece if the error affects the overall design. I also plan for such mishaps by creating multiple drafts and working slowly with proper ink flow. Prevention is key. Choosing the right tools, paper, and paste reduces errors and keeps the final piece clean and professional. 7. Have you worked with digital calligraphy? What software or tools do you use? Yes, I actively work with digital calligraphy, which has expanded my creative possibilities. I primarily use Procreate on the iPad with an Apple Pencil for its responsive pressure sensitivity and realistic brush effects. Adobe Illustrator is another essential tool, especially for vectorizing lettering for logos or prints. I also use Photoshop for refining textures, backgrounds, and digital effects. These platforms allow easy corrections, scalability, and integration into graphic design projects. Digital calligraphy also helps with client mock-ups and online content creation. While I value traditional methods, combining both digital and analog techniques allows me to produce versatile and polished work for various formats. 8. How do you approach custom projects when a client has a vague idea of what they want? When clients have only a vague idea, I begin with a discovery conversation to understand their goals, tone, occasion, and preferences. I ask targeted questions about colors, styles, and inspirations. Then, I offer visual references and previous samples to help them clarify their vision. I create rough sketches or mood boards to present style options, such as modern, classic, or whimsical. Once we narrow it down, I proceed with more refined draft for approval. Throughout the process, I maintain open communication to ensure alignment. This collaborative approach turns a vague idea into a focused, satisfying final product that reflects the client's intent. 9. Can you describe a challenging calligraphy project you worked on and how you executed it? One of my most challenging projects involved creating 200 custom wedding invitations using gold ink on black handmade paper. The surface was textured and irregular, making ink flow unpredictable. I tested multiple nibs and inks before selecting a high-opacity gold ink and a sturdy nib that could handle the rough texture. I also used a light box with pre-marked guidelines to maintain alignment. Each piece required extreme care and drying time. Despite the challenges, I delivered the order on time by pacing the work over several days. The final result was elegant and luxurious, and the client was thrilled with the unique presentation. 10. How do you stay updated with new trends in typography and calligraphy? I stay updated by regularly following calligraphy blogs, Instagram accounts, and YouTube channels of influential artists. I also subscribe to design magazines and attend virtual and in-person workshops or conferences. Platforms like Skillshare and Domestika offer excellent courses on evolving styles and digital tools. I participate in online calligraphy communities where artists share trends, critiques, and new techniques. Exploring typography trends in graphic design helps me adapt my calligraphy to modern aesthetics. Additionally, experimenting with trending colors, compositions, and mixed media helps keep my work fresh and relevant. Staying curious and open to learning keeps me ahead in this ever-evolving art form. 11. Do you incorporate illustration or other art forms into your calligraphy work? Yes, I often incorporate illustration, watercolor, and graphic design elements into my calligraphy work. These combinations enhance the visual storytelling and make the final product more engaging. For example, I've added floral borders, watercolor backgrounds, and minimalist line art to wedding invitations and quotes. Digitally, I merge calligraphy with vector illustrations using Adobe Illustrator or Procreate. This integration adds depth and uniqueness, especially in branding or editorial projects. I also experiment with gilding and embossing for added texture. Blending calligraphy with other art forms not only expands my creative range, but also helps tailor each piece to the client's personal or thematic vision. 12. How do you balance artistic expression with client expectations in commission work? Balancing artistic expression with client expectations begins with clear communication. I start by understanding their vision, goals, and any design constraints. I offer suggestions based on my expertise while respecting their preferences. If a client requests a design outside my usual style, I adapt while maintaining the integrity of my artistic standards. I provide mock-ups or samples for feedback and ensure revisions are clearly defined. It's a collaborative process where I aim to align my creativity with their intent. Ultimately, I strive for a result that satisfies the client while still reflecting my artistic identity, ensuring a piece that's both personal and professional. 13. What types of projects have you worked on? Wedding invitations, logos, branding, etc. I've worked on a diverse range of calligraphy projects, including wedding invitations, event signage, placed cards, certificates, and personalized gifts. I've also created custom logos, brand names, and taglines for businesses that want a unique, hand-lettered identity. Additionally, I've designed calligraphy prints for home decor and digital products, such as downloadable quotes and planners. Each project has its own requirements: formal elegance for weddings, bold clarity for branding, or creative flair for decor. This variety has helped me become adaptable and confident across different styles and formats. Regardless of the project type, I ensure each piece is polished, meaningful, and visually striking. 14. How do you manage tight deadlines for large calligraphy orders? Managing tight deadlines requires organization, efficiency, and preparation. I begin by breaking down the project into stages: consultation, drafting, production, and final review. I set internal milestones and use project management tools or simple spreadsheets to track progress. For bulk orders, I create templates and use consistent layout guides to maintain speed and accuracy. I also schedule buffer time for unexpected delays, like drying time or corrections. If needed, I scale back on intricate flourishes to focus on legibility and quality. Good time management, advanced material preparation, and streamlined workflows ensure I meet deadlines without compromising craftsmanship or professionalism. 15. Have you ever taught calligraphy? If so, what methods do you use for beginners? Yes, I've taught calligraphy workshops for beginners both in person and online. I start with foundational skills such as posture, pen angles, and basic strokes. I provide practice sheets with structured exercises focusing on consistency and pressure control. For traditional calligraphy, I introduce students to nib handling and ink flow. I also offer beginner-friendly tools like brush pens to build confidence before transitioning to dip pens. I use visual demonstrations, real-time feedback, and individual attention to guide their progress. Encouragement, patience, and practice are key themes. My goal is to make calligraphy approachable, enjoyable, and rewarding from the very first session. 16. How do you price your calligraphy services? Per project, per hour, per piece? I price my calligraphy services based on several factors: complexity, time required, materials, and delivery format. For standard items like envelope addressing or place cards, I charge per piece. Larger projects such as wedding suites or branding elements are priced per project after an initial consultation and design brief. I sometimes offer hourly rates for on-site work or live events. I also factor in revisions, custom illustrations, and rush fees when applicable. Transparency is important, so I provide detailed quotes and breakdowns in advance. My pricing structure ensures fair compensation while giving clients options that match their needs and budget. 17. How do you handle client revisions or dissatisfaction with a finished piece? I handle revisions with professionalism and a willingness to collaborate. During the planning phase, I make sure to gather detailed input and provide drafts or mock-ups for approval. If a client is dissatisfied with final piece, I listen carefully to their concerns and assess whether the issue stems from miscommunication or artistic preference. I offer revisions when within scope or discuss additional charges if changes go beyond the agreed brief. My goal is to find a solution that leaves the client satisfied while maintaining the integrity of the work. Open communication, empathy, and clear expectations help prevent misunderstandings and build trust. 18. What strategies do you use to market your calligraphy services? I use a multi-platform marketing strategy to promote my calligraphy services. Social media platforms like Instagram and Pinterest showcase my portfolio and attract visual engagement. I also maintain a professional website with galleries, pricing information, and a contact form. I network locally by participating in art fairs, workshops, and collaborate with event planners. Email newsletters and blog posts help with client retention and SEO. I also list my services on platforms like Etsy and Fiverr for digital products and freelance commissions. Client referrals and word of mouth have been valuable too. Consistent branding and quality service keep my work visible and in demand. 19. Do you sell pre-made calligraphy pieces, prints, digital files, etc., in addition to custom work? Yes, I offer a range of pre-made calligraphy pieces, including art prints, greeting cards, digital downloads, and motivational quotes. These are available through my online store and digital marketplaces like Etsy. Selling pre-made work allows me to reach a broader audience and generate passive income alongside custom commissions. I also create seasonal collections and themed sets for holidays or events. Digital files can be customized with names or colors, offering flexibility to customers. This side of my business complements my commission work and helps maintain consistent creative output. It's a great way to share my art with those who love calligraphy. 20. Where do you see the future of calligraphy, especially with the rise of digital art? I see a bright future for calligraphy, especially as it bridges the gap between traditional craftsmanship and modern digital design. While digital art has made creation more accessible, it has also increased appreciation for handmade, personalized lettering. Hybrid approaches, using traditional calligraphy as a base and enhancing it digitally, are becoming more popular. The demand for unique branding, weddings, and handcrafted aesthetics keeps calligraphy relevant. As typography evolves, calligraphers will continue to influence digital fonts and styles. I also see growth in online teaching, digital calligraphy products, and augmented reality design. The essence of calligraphy, beauty, discipline, and expression, will continue to resonate across mediums. We hope these top 20 calligrapher interview questions and answers help you demonstrate your artistic skill, technical knowledge, and client communication. Mastering these insights will prepare you to confidently succeed in interviews and stand out as a professional calligrapher in today's competitive creative industry. Best of luck with your journey.